What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy XRyuChiOniX Gaming. Well, I don't wrap it up for you, man. I don't sugar it for you. I'm gonna get this shit to you raw, man. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the top 5 heroes after this patch that are gonna be the shit. They're gonna be the meta. They're gonna be the go-to picks, and these characters are gonna be the guys you want to start playing and repping up to get ready for these lobbies. So if you guys enjoy any of my content or any content like this, make sure you drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment down below who you want to see next. Let's get right into it. So before we go any further, we need to address the patch. The patch is actually regarding all dodge forward neutral bashes. This is not including any special or stance change bashes. This is meaning no Highlander bashes will be changed and no Valk style bashes will be changed. Those type of bashes will be the same as they were before the patch. So for the criteria of making these the best heroes to play is 1, on top of having an unreactable bash, you have to have an unreactable mix-up right after the bash. So unreactable. With that in mind, let's get right into number 5. Number 5, we have Griffin. Now, if you remember Griffin back in the day, he was a menace, man. He was the shit. He was the guy that was ruining games in the community, man. I mean, he's made so many players rage quit. The entire community was asking for nerf after nerf after nerf. The monkey brain character. Let's just get that out of the way. He's the easy pick. I have him at number 5 because 1, he is an easy pick to play. You really don't need much thought. You don't need much skill, much reads, much brain power. You just click about 2 buttons and that's about 30-40 damage. So with this, he has now an unreactable bash. On top of that, he goes into an unreactable mix-up right after, which is either a kick for good high damage, or he goes into an undodgeable light attack. And on top of that, he also has a third option that allows him to have an uninterruptible heavy that could be target swapped or traded with. So this guy has mix-ups. He has things in his toolkit now that's really gonna put you over the edge, on top of him having an unreactable neutral bash. This is gonna be a menace because on top of that, he's just a really easy character to play. You don't need much skill to play this character. Coming in at number 4, I have to go with Zhanhu. Zhanhu cannot be disregarded after this patch. Zhanhu will be spammed match after match. I'm calling it now. I haven't been wrong. Anybody who's been following me or subbed right now, call my bluff. I've never been wrong about anything I've called out. Zhanhu will be in almost every match. He will be the same pick rate as BP. He's just that easy to play now, especially on top of him having a unreactable bash that confirms a light and now goes into either a 50-50 or whatever mix-up he wants to make it, because he can actually bash light into bash light into undodgeable zone. But the real one he has is bash light into an unreactable, light unblockable, or heavy unblockable game. This is, you're just gonna see orange. It's just gonna be orange, and orange. That's just really all it's gonna be. He's just a really easy character to play in 4s. He has really good feats. The team fighting capability with this character, he can play a lot of different roles. He can kind of just sit there. He can kind of push the pace. In 1s, he's pretty strong in 1s. This is gonna make him pretty strong. He's gonna be above a solid pick. I have him at least minimum A tier, especially after this. You can't really say he's anything lower than A tier after this patch. The only thing is, you're gonna have to pay that steal if you want to play this character. That's like the only reason he's really down here. I think if he was like already a free character, this would be different, but you have to pay some steal for this character if you don't have him. So that's Zhanhu. Now these next 3, the top 3 are gonna be the powerhouses of all lobbies regardless of game mode. Number 3, Centurion. Yes, Centurion mains, your time is now. I remember the days when you guys were D tier and just F tier, and you guys asked for buff after buff after buff, and every patch they looked up and it was nerf. And you know what? You guys became a meme for a while, but now you guys are here. Your time has finally come back. Even after you guys had that long cutscene, you guys are back. Coming in with this, you have an unreactable bash that gives you mix-ups. I don't even have to say much about the character. I mean, we all know how Centurion plays. Once he gets going, there's really not much. There's not much you can do. I mean, you just gotta hope, you know, make a good read, stay away from the wall, and this guy's gonna have at it. He's gonna spam GB a lot, but this is gonna allow them to actually be able to get into mix-ups, one-on-one and duels. He's gonna be a menace. He's gonna be really good. I don't even want to say he's gonna be S tier yet. I think it's too early to call that one, but he's definitely going to be a really strong pick in duels. I don't know about fours yet. He's going to be more of confirming and stuff, and he really won't hold well for anti-gank, but he's going to do really good in duels. That's why I have him at number 3. Number 2, I have Shinobi. Now, Shinobi mains, we are just really loving this game. I swear. Like, it's like ever since they gave us this rework, our time has been like, it's been very good on For Honor. Like, ever since that rework. For number 2, we have Shinobi. He has now an unreactable bash that gives him a charge heavy. On top of that, he rolls in, and now it is an unreactable mix-up of either bash or an undodgeable heavy. On top of that, you can also sprinkle in the unblockable mix-up. On top of that, you also have the light that gives you a check combo where you can actually backflip on reaction if he does anything other than sidestep into GB. And the last one he can actually do is now a dodge forward bash right after that. So with that all coupled in, he also has a single and a double dash bash, which should be both unreactable from all directions. That means side bash, forward bash, backside, back forward. The different variations is just really good. On top of that, this also opens up his dodge forward empty bash. His dodge forward empty bash. The dodge forward heavy now is becoming a real 50-50 now. So he has at least 3 different 50-50s just off of dodging. He's going to be very scary in ones. He's going to be a nightmare in fours because he can just really maneuver around the battlefield and get those combos going, especially in comp now. So I think he's going to be a really good pick. All right, so before I give you guys the number 1 pick, let's go right through the honorable mentions of the characters that actually could be doing something but are not good enough to be considered top 5. We're going to start with Ocelotto. Ocelotto was really in desperate need of an actual real opener because that dodge bash that was not chargeable, it wasn't feintable, it was kind of just a dead giveaway. And honestly, a lot of the offenses, you don't want to just start off with lights, especially when you start going to the upper echelon of players. He has now a really good bash startup now. I would say that the mix-up potential is good, but on paper it's not fully practical because once you get the bash light, everything after that really is not really like a full-blown 50-50 unreactable because he can just throw a light or he can throw a bash, but you know, it's not like, you know, it's kind of there, you know. That's really what he needed. We'll have to see more about that. Now, Shigoki is actually going to be very underrated. I think this one is going to really be on the radar. I predict he's going to be on the radar for the comp teams because this character is able to not only get a nice 10 damage bash off that is unreactable, but now he can actually go into a big unblockable that is also tradable. It has hyper armor on it. So that could be very useful in ganks for the comp level. I'm interested to see on how this feels for the pub matches. On paper, it looks really good. He's able to get that bash off. The only thing is just not an unreactable into an unreactable. That is the only thing that does not really put it to the top. I think we need more information and wait a little bit to see what it looks like for us to see how good this character is going to be. Now, I'm going to put JJ and Jorm in the same boat here. They're like going to be really good. Both of these characters are going to get some nice, good feel out of this buff. They're going to feel really good. They're going to get the offense started. It's just that they're not going to be that strong because they already weren't strong enough before. JJ was primarily a fours hero. He's going to be really good. He's going to be a little bit better in fours now because he can actually help set up those ganks a little bit. But in ones, I don't have him that strong, but he is a decent pick for ones if you want to use him in ones. Jorm, in fours, I don't really have him too high in fours. I think he's a solid pick. For ones, he doesn't do very good either. I have him as a solid pick. So for me, it's just going to be just both solid picks around the same area, solid pick. I had to give some love to the Lawbringer community because this character, it's not liked by the people who actually play Lawbringer a lot. But I think that this patch is also going to help you guys be buffed. Obviously, it's going to be a buff. It's going to help you get your offense started. I don't see that this character is going to just bump up to the greatest character in the game, but I think it's going to be substantial enough where it's going to help you guys a little bit more in those one-on-one situations where now you can delete people slightly faster. I think that might be a thing for me when I choose to play Lawbringer. I just feel the fights take a little bit, well, I'm not going to say a little bit, it takes way too long. I don't want to sit here and fight one person. Like if I'm playing Shinobi, I can delete him, boom, 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 get him over with, I'm done. Lawbringer, there really isn't any mix-ups in his kit that allows you to do that unless the guy you're fighting is a complete bonehead. So I think this character is not quite gonna do anything crazy, but he's definitely gonna feel a little bit better. And for the #1 pick, Shaolin. Now, if you didn't know it, man, Shaolin is already the shit, dude. He's already there. He's definitely a very, 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 very good pick for any game mode across the board. You're talking ones. He's got a lot of different mix-ups. He's got flicker tech still in the game. Fucking how? I don't know how he still has flicker tech, but he still has it in the game. He just has abundance of mix-ups. I mean, and then when you place it with a character or person who's really good, who has a high skill potential, and they can really get the mix-ups going, Shaolin is just a very nasty, character in that type of person's hands. Coming in with an unreactable bash, he gets either the triple light to end the combo, or he can go to the 2 lights to maximize that, and then it goes right into an unreactable mix-up right after that, because he can do so much. And it's the amount of I mean, I don't even have to say much. You guys already know Shaolin is just the shit, man. He's gonna be nasty. He's not, I wouldn't say a really easy pick. I would say to be at the highest level, you're going to have to really know what you're doing with him. So that's why I have him at the top, as well as him being really, really good. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Hopefully you guys can take these 5 picks, hop into the customs or hop into some online matches, get some matches going and learn these characters before this patch comes out. So that's all I got for you guys, man. I'm going to wrap it up for you, man. I don't know good for you. I'm going to get this shit to you raw, man. Thank y'all for coming out.